Okay. So if you go in your NetAcad, and from there you log in. So when you log in, you will see CCNA switching and routing. So this one is part 2 of our CCNA. Our CCNA has 3 parts. Part 1 is what we are done already. So part 2 will be about, we're going to study a lot with switch, the router, and a bit of wireless. So you know how to study now. But you know how things are. Also, for your exam, please do it because it's going to close tomorrow 11 p.m. So when you open your Cisco stuff, you go down and you'll see first thing first must do end of course survey. You must do it first, and from there, after that, you do this one. If you don't do both, the system will not generate your certificate. The system need to see that you did this, and all your chapter exams. That's why I was begging people, please do all your chapter exams. All the way checkpoint exam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's only 5. So please finish your exam tomorrow. And if you didn't finish your chapter exam, please next week try to finish all of them. But tomorrow, you must, or today, even tonight, the exam is open. You see there is no lock. It's open. And the due date tomorrow at even 10 p.m. So you can start tonight, tomorrow morning, in the afternoon. You can do it many times. Maximum 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Maximum. I'll ask the system to keep the the highest mark. Okay, so quickly let us check our stuff for today. So if you open your packet tracer, so we didn't officially start CCNA2 yet, but I want to quickly, half an hour, go through something that we'll do also on Saturday at that side. So if here I tap Cisco switch, so we know that the switch is a layer 2 with data link layer and deals a lot with MAC addresses. Deals a lot with MAC addresses. So this is an example of a switch. And you know that on a switch, each port will get connected to a PC with a network cable. So on the switch, it's not only about plugging network cable, and there are a lot of stuff you can do on the switch. This picture is not nice. Let me bring a good one. It was Amazon. Amazon. Image. Which one is a good? Okay, let me check this one. Yeah, so which is a switch, for example. this one. So each port is connected to a PC. So it's not only about connecting PCs, but we can also do some security stuff. It's what we're going to do today. So if you open your chapter 2, my packet trace is open. Yeah. So what we'll do on Saturday, we have a lot of stuff that we'll be doing. Plus, so we'll get our switch. We have one switch, and let's say one laptop. So let's say we have 3 people, for example, connected. So if this one you connect here, you take your network cable, you plug on the port. Network cable, you plug on the port. So each port has a name. You see, FA01, port 1, port 2, port 3. So we're going to log on our switch. So remember how we do to log on with switch. You take your console cable. You log on. You use your console port. Then from your PC, you open it. Desktop, terminal, Tiratem. Okay. Press enter for you to view inside the switch. So this is the switch. So when we are there, we can go to enable. You're here. Now, what we'll do, we need to view the MAC address. So with packet tracer, you do that, but you'll use a physical, a normal switch to do that. So I'm asking you, what command are you going to type to view your MAC address?
Is show tab MAC address.
Okay, you say show table MAC address, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I press enter and the system says there is something wrong here. So if you want to view your MAC address, it's show MAC address table, you see. So this is the command you should issue to view the MAC address table of the switch. You press enter. So you see for now it's empty. So we'll see with the physical equipment if it will be empty also. So please on your laptop, don't forget to install the drivers for that USB console, the console USB cable. The drivers, install them, and also install Teratem. I'm going to send you again the link where you can download and install. It's in the shared drive, so that when we do, it will go quicker. So I'm going to generate some traffic. It's something we used to do, and this one there is nothing new for now. Here I'll say 192.168.10.2. Okay. And the other one, I'll say .3 and .4. Copy. Okay, I'll keep only 2 pieces. I'll keep only 2 pieces. Not to make it, yeah. So we have 2 pieces, yeah. So this guy, I'm going to add a IP address, for example. Remember, Cisco is about practicing many times the same thing. No other stuff. The same thing you do many times. So now from PC1, I want to ping the other PC. So I go to command prompt and ping. Ping, as you know, is a command to check the connectivity if the other PC is available for communication. Okay, so now we can ping each other and communicate. So I can close it and I go to my terminal again to view inside my switch. Show MAC address table again. I press enter. Now I can see that on port 2, this is the MAC address of the PC that is there. On port 1 of the switch, this is the MAC address. So Saturday, we'll do that. Here is packet tracer to practice, but in real life, we'll check also what is the MAC address. And the main thing that we'll be doing is called VLAN. We'll do that later, but I want to introduce so that you can practice. VLAN stands for Virtual LAN, Local Area Network. It's not a physical classroom, but it's a virtual classroom like what we're doing. You stay at your place, I stay at my place, but we still have a class. So virtual, this is a normal office, but it will be virtual. It means it's no longer a physical one. It doesn't exist. But so there are many things we can do with that. So let me open my my note quickly so that I can show you. It's only 25 minutes and we are done. No worries. I'll show you. So on CCNA2, that will start next month, the first week. We'll do a lot of switching, a lot of routing, and wireless and security concept. So if you go to our VLAN, so VLAN is a let's say a technology to allow people to work. If I take here, for example, let's say marketing people, they all work at the first floor, and they have their own switch. It means if you're in the building and if you need to work for marketing department, you need to have an office at the first floor, because first floor is for marketing people. If you want to work for, let's say, HR, or let's say the managers, you're the managers. So if you're a manager, you need to be at the third floor because it's there your switch is. So if you're a manager and you can't sit at the first floor, you won't be able to work. So to avoid this issue of floor and office and desk and what, they say, okay, let us create a switch or a technology so that anywhere you can sit, you can work properly. This is what we call virtual LAN. So virtual LAN are based on logical instead of physical connections. So if you're a manager, normally you should be at the third floor. But if you're a manager with VLAN, you can sit at the first floor, second floor, anywhere. Now, the system is, when we have a switch, we're going to allocate some ports. You see now? We're going to say, okay, from port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be for marketing guys. It means if you're a marketing guy and you want to work, you must plug your cable to this port. If you're HR or IT, we say, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this row will belong to IT guys. So you can sit anywhere. All the switches will get configured the same way. So all the switches will get configured the same way so that anywhere you go, you can sit. Now we're going to ask you what is your department. Let's say yeah, I'm a manager. You can say I'm a manager. I say, okay. On each switch, we did allocate some port for managers. So if you're a manager, we can plug your network cable on that port. So you see, that's what we call VLAN. With VLAN, you don't need to be on a dedicated floor. You can sit anywhere, but you plug your network cable to a port that belongs to your department. So each switch, we're going to do the same configuration, allocating some port to. So let's do an example. You see here, I'll call it PC1. And this guy, I'm going to kill PC2. So I go to my switch. Oh, sorry. I need to go from here. How to create VLAN? It's very simple. So because I want to configure something, where should I type? What should I type? I want to configure something. You must type conft, huh? Because you want to configure something. You can see my screen now. You can hear me properly.
Yes, Mr. Max.
Okay, thank you very much. So if there is something wrong, call me directly on WhatsApp because when I teach. So to conft, because I need to configure something. Now, I'm in the global config mode. To create a VLAN, so what we're going to do, it's something simple, huh? No worries for that. On PC1, I'm going to create VLAN 10. And the name, I'm going to say marketing department, marketing. Okay, marketing department. And this guy, I'm going to say VLAN 20, a VLAN ID, and people who will sit there or who will be in that virtual group will be the managers. You see. So we're going to create these VLANs. To create a VLAN, it's very simple. You go to your switch, you tap VLAN. So this one is what we're going to do also on Saturday. VLAN 10. Now you must give a name. Name marketing. So what I'm doing is, if I have a switch, and I say, okay, the first row, I'm going to allocate that space for marketing people. So I need to create it, a VLAN ID, for example, VLAN 10, and the name will be marketing. It means if you're a marketing guy, wherever on first floor, second floor, third floor, and you want to work, IT guy must come plug your network cable to one of these ports. So it's what we are doing. How to say that the first 6 port on top belong to marketing? It's what we are doing. So first thing first, you create a ID, VLAN ID, VLAN 10, name marketing, and that's all. We exit. We are done. The other side, VLAN 20, you see. So you must add an ID. Name, managers, you see. And now exit. You see. Now this is how we create VLANs or virtual offices. In IT, we do that a lot. We call it switch technology. Remember CCNA2? We're going to study a lot with switch now, a lot with router and wireless. So see. Now I want to view anything related to my configuration. I exit. Now we have a new command, show VLAN brief. This is a new command that you'll be using. Show VLAN brief. You press enter, enter. And you can see 10 is here. You see VLAN, the ID 10 that we created, the name, you see marketing. We did create VLAN ID 20, the name is managers. See? So I did create my offices. Now, when you have a switch, by default, there is only one VLAN, VLAN 1, the default, you see. All the ports, if you don't create any VLAN, all the ports on your switch belong to the default VLAN, VLAN 1. We can never delete VLAN 1, it's the default, but you can delete anything else. Please ignore anything down here, it's for the system. Focus on what we did. Now, I did create, but there is no port in this. So we need to take some port and bring them in the department. So to do that, we go interface by interface. You can save, if I want port 1 to belong to marketing, you go to that interface, interface FA02. So I'm doing the recording. So when I'm done, I'll send you the link if you want to view it again, because the same thing I'm doing here, it's exactly the same thing you'll do on Saturday. So if you want to assign a port to a VLAN, if you want to assign a port to a VLAN, let's say port 1, I want anyone who connects his port to his network cable in port 1, he belongs to marketing. So you go to port 1, to that port, conf first, configure terminal, interface FA01. Now I have 2 lines to type. Switch port mode. Now switch port okay, question mark. Access first or mode? Let me see. Let's mode first, yeah. So switch port mode access, then switch port access VLAN N. I exit. I go to the other VLAN. So I want, for example, port 2 for managers. So I type interface FA02, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Oh, sorry, VLAN 20. So this is if you want to take a port and put it in a VLAN to say, okay, this port will belong to this VLAN. You see, this is how we do. So in the global config mode, you go to that interface, then switch port mode access, and switch port access the name of the VLAN. So it's in your NetAcad and there is nothing hidden. That's why I say, please have a look. So if I go back to NetAcad and I go to chapter 3, you'll see all this there. Here we'll explain again what is VLAN and overview. It's the same thing I explained. Some benefits. I'm going to explain you again some. Sorry, I'm tired today. I'm going to explain the different type of VLAN. You see, show VLAN brief. We'll do we are doing a packet tracer already, but Saturday we'll go live. Then we go to configuration. It's what I want us to do. So you see, show VLAN brief. By default here, if you see VLAN, there is no VLAN. Forget about thousands usually for the system. By default, if you don't configure any VLAN, all the ports belong to the default VLAN, VLAN 1. You see. Now, if you want to configure VLAN, this is how it is. VLAN creation. Global config conft, VLAN ID, name, and that's all. The same thing I did. And you have an example here. You have a switch one. See? So switch one conft, VLAN 20, name, student, end. You created your VLAN. You see. So to create a VLAN, this is the command. You can view it in your NetArcade. Now to assign a port to a VLAN, you go to conft, you go to the interface you want, switch port mode access, you see, switch port access, which VLAN you want to access, VLAN 10 or VLAN 20, and finished. Finish. It's what I wanted to explain to you. So this is an example also, so that on Saturday we'll use a physical equipment to do the same thing. So you can check that and we continue. Remember, this training, it's an international training. It's not for South Africa only. Anyone who wants to study CCNA, we all go through the same thing, the same system, same exams, same certificate. So we did ours, and now show VLAN brief. Now I can see that port 1 is no longer on top there. It has been assigned to marketing. It means if you're a marketing guy and you want to work in an office, you plug your network cable to this port. Automatically, it means you belong to marketing. You're a manager, you can sit anywhere you want. On the switch, we did the config. Because you're a manager, the IT guy will plug your laptop or your PC to this port so that you'll be in the manager group. So that's all. Now, another thing, because you see they're in different departments, they cannot communicate. It's security, safety. You're in different VLANs. Okay. So let's check. PC1 and PC2, previously they could communicate, right? If you go on top, I was tapping the ping guy. Why clear it? I don't know, it was the other one. Let me save the whole save first. Copy, run, start. Yeah, copy and start. So I close, I go to my prompt. So also on Saturday when we go, I'll show you how to assign an IP address on your PC. So down here, you look at the PC, view your PC name. You should be able to view your PC name and all the details. But what I want you to do is, so to change, to view the IP, you can tap Ethernet settings. You come here. And IP assignment is automatic. Okay, we'll go through this. I'll try to show you. But what I want to network, view network connection. And this is all your network interface card. We have virtual ones, VMware, forget about them. It's virtual. I have my Wi-Fi interface card. And if you use a cable, and you see this network cable, I didn't plug it. So we'll plug. Then if you want to change, we'll go to right click, properties. You see, because I'm not administrator on my laptop, Yeah, if I'm an administrator, but I'll show you all that on Saturday. Where to change IP address on a PC or a laptop. So before, these two guys, we could ping each other, you see. Now let's see if we can ping again. They won't be able to communicate because now they belong to different VLANs or different department. So VLAN we create for security purpose also. See. I'll try again. So that is what we call VLAN. So before, you need to be at the same floor to work, to be in the same office. Nowadays, you can sit anywhere, but on each switch, we do the same configuration. We assign some port to a VLAN or to some offices. We have different type of VLANs. We have a default VLAN. If you don't configure anything, all reports belong to a default VLAN, VLAN 1. We cannot delete VLAN 1. Okay, something I want to show you also. When you configure your VLAN, when you configure your VLANs, all your configuration will be in a file, show flash. All your configuration will be stored in VLAN.dat. You see? All your config will be here. So if you delete it, it means you don't have any VLAN anymore. Let us delete it. So before we delete, let us again show VLAN brief. We can see that we have our two VLANs, and people in the same VLAN, they can communicate. But if you're a marketing guy, they cannot communicate with managers. But anyone in the same VLAN, we can communicate. We did our stuff, we did save. It goes to this. Let's delete it. Conf delete VLAN. So if you work in a company, never do that. The same day you do that, the same day you're fired, because it means you're clearing all the configuration for VLANs. Never delete it without your manager approval. Never, never. If you I press enter, we see there is something wrong here. Delete. So erase. Let's check. Erase VLAN.dat. That erase also. Exit. Delete VLAN.dat. So if I want to delete, I must do it in the global here. Delete. You want to delete? I say yes. Why? Are you sure? Say yes. Why? Okay. And I save. Copy. Then start. I tap again. Show VLAN brief. So sometimes packet tracer doesn't clear properly. We can still see them here. But normally, that's why I say we're going to do live with a physical equipment. If you delete it, it's gone. Let me tap erase VLAN.dat. Okay, erase question mark. So we can just erase the startup config. Okay. Show run to view all my configs I made. And I'm going to filter pipe include VLAN. So you see, it will show here, or else I can type show run. I press enter. Oh, and I go on top. I can see on this port, you see, I did a configuration on that port. It belongs to VLAN 10. If I go to this port, it belongs to this VLAN, this config I made. You see? Yeah, so we'll play around with, it's very important. Yeah, so it's something that's we'll be doing. So we have 5 types of VLANs that we'll do on CCNA2. Data VLAN, native VLAN. So next month and next week when we start CCNA2, we'll go through it. So what I wanted to show you today, how to configure VLAN and how to assign port to VLAN. This is an example. And after that, how to assign port. You go to the port you want to assign and you do this config. That's what we'll be doing. Show VLAN Brave. Yeah. You delete flash VLAN. Okay, let me try it. Okay, anyway, we'll do that. Yeah, so this is what we'll be doing. So in your NetAcad, you go to chapter 3, CCNA2. You just go straight to section 3.3, VLAN configuration. You just come here straight. Don't read. You can just maybe read the introduction and overview. Then you come here. Because it's what we'll be doing on Saturday. We are done for today, guys. Any questions?
Yes, Max.
Yes, your name and
Okay. Stay for here.
your telephone.
The page where you had your notes, and then there was a PC student there.
Yeah.
I want to understand. So once you've now assigned VLAN 2 to that PC, what does it mean? Does it mean when the student wants to do that PC wants to connect to the internet or any communication, it must have a VLAN 20 in its must go through VLAN 20. Yeah, the one before that.
Okay. A very
What
good
is the meaning
question.
of it?
Very good question. So in a company, you have a switch. And any PC in the company will get connected to a port on the switch. Now, the deal is each port has a settings. It means each port belongs to a VLAN. If you are a student and you want to work in the office, the IT must connect your network interface, your network cable to a port that is part of VLAN student. Because if you take for you're the IT guy and you configured port 6 as manager, you a student, you plug to manager, this guy wants to be able to do anything because he's a student. But if you are a student and you say, okay, port 6, I configured port 6 for student, then you the IT guy, you are a student, you want to work, I connect your network cable to that port. What does it mean? It means when you see a switch like that, it doesn't mean it's open. Anyone can come and plug his network cable and start work. No. Each port belongs to a specific type of VLAN. So if you're a student, you must plug, or the IT guy must plug your network cable to a port that has been configured for student. You see?
Okay, meaning so far we've been the two sessions we had at Mowbray, it was default VLANs on the switch.
Very good. It was the default. We didn't configure any VLAN. It's open. Anyone can do anything. It's VLAN 1, the default VLAN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now, you see, we're going deeper. We are done with CCNA1. Introduction to network is to tell you about welcome to networking world. Now we are starting with networking engineering. We take a switch, we're going to configure, put security, put a lot of stuff on it. When we are done, we go to a router, each port, what is inside, how to configure, you see. So now we go deeper and deeper. So when you have a switch like that, if you didn't configure any VLAN, it's fine. Anyone can ping, they can do it. But for safety, for security purpose, each port should join a specific VLAN. So you, the network engineer, it's yourself who did the configuration. So you know what is happening here. Yeah, very good question. Something else, any other questions? So please go to your CCNA2, go to section 3.3. You have some configuration, some examples.
Sorry, Mr. Max.
Your name, yes. Hello.
Ejid, my name is Ejid.
Okay, Jude, yes.
I would like to know the total number of VLAN that can be found.
Okay, very good question. So if you go to overview of VLAN, and you'll see the definition of VLAN, what I explain. I think the maximum is 4,000, but you cannot go beyond 10. If not, you get confused. If you say 10 VLAN, it means 10 department, marketing department, IT, sales, manager, and what again? Don't go beyond 10. If not, yourself, a network engineer, you can get confused. But we can create many VLANs. I think 4,000 something. So if you go in your, you see, type of VLAN, default VLAN is here, data VLAN, I'll explain next week when we start. But if 4,000 something. Yeah, but me as a network engineer, I won't go beyond 10. No. You can also maximum VLAN Cisco switch. You remember VLAN is for switch, not for router. You see 4,000. But don't go beyond 10. You'll get confused. Good question. So any other questions?
Sorry, Max, for here, another question. I see
Yes.
on the card they say they've got a planned maintenance tomorrow. I don't know. There's a message they've planned maintenance.
Yes. So tomorrow night for us, because it's really tomorrow 5 p.m. in America, and if you say time New York, So currently it's 1 p.m. there, and for us it's 7 p.m. So it will be 5 p.m. So when it's 5 p.m. in New York, for us here it's midnight already.
Okay.
That's why simply, yeah, it's open now. You can do now, you can do tomorrow morning, afternoon, and until 10 p.m. Because from 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., yeah, we'll close it for some maintenance. So do your exam latest tomorrow, 11 p.m. You can do it maximum 3 times, not more than that. and the system will record the maximum mark, the highest mark, I mean.
Another question, Mr. Max.
Yes,
You say the VLAN is only for the router.
I never said that.
Uh, uh, if you
So
say
check here, check. VLAN is what? So do you see a router here? The VLAN are for the switch only. Switch only.
okay, yes, I understand. For the street.
Switch only. Yeah.
So we can find the VLAN by MAC address.
Okay, we'll do that. So please, first thing first, I'm going to send you the recording. Go to your NETA card and read. That's why I say please start reading. You go to chapter 3. You can start from, you can read until section 3.3. Introduction. You read here. You read overview of, you read 3.0 until 3.3. Don't do 3.4. So section 0, 1, 2, 3. Read it, and we're not doing the chapter on that. I was just showing you what is a VLAN, how to configure, how to assign port. That's all. The overview, not the real course. So let's stop for now here for today, and
Mr. Max, sorry, I'm not asking question about the. I want to know. You say we must do the final exam because you put it tomorrow. Sorry, like me, I'm still busy with other exams, and I'll be at work. I'll be home like around past 4.
Now skip. Skip. If I click here, all the checkpoint exam you didn't finish, skip them for now. Leave them. Focus on your exams. First thing first, end of course survey, do it. It's 10 minutes. When you finish, you do your exam.
So, Mr. Max, I'm checking. They say CCNA Introduction to Network Practice final exam. Introduction to
No. Check in the WhatsApp group. I took a picture and I did show you. Please check my communication in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Even here, I'm showing you end of course survey and this one. You see, don't do anything else.
Okay, Mr. Max.
Okay.
Okay.
Last question before we close. Okay, all the best for your exam, and when you pass it at night or Saturday when we finish Mowbray, I'll issue your certificate. And so to view your certificate, you go to on top right, you click on your name, you see badge and certificate, and you'll see all your certificate here. All your certificate. You can download, you can print, you can, and also you'll have a digital certificate. But to accept it, to come here, there is a website. I'll explain to you later, not today. Focus on your exam, do well. Make sure also your name, your profile, make sure your name is correct, because it's this name that will appear on your certificate. You see here, exactly the same way it is. So check properly first. Okay, thank you very much, guys. It was just to tell you about VLAN, how to configure, how to assign port. Please do your exam. And if you have time, you go to your NETA to read chapter 3, section 3.3. Yeah. Enjoy your evening and see you next time.
Thank you.